Welcome to a McDermid Autotype how-to guide video tutorial. In this guide we will look at some of the tips and tricks for coating plus emulsions using a coating machine. Firstly, always wear the appropriate safety equipment when handling any emulsion. Use scissors or a sharp knife to open the diazo powder sachet. Hold the sachet close to the surface of the emulsion to prevent the powder becoming airborne, and make sure that you empty out all of the diazo powder. Gently fold in the diazo powder, as this will also help to prevent it becoming airborne. You now need to thoroughly mix in the diazo into the emulsion. It is very important to do this properly to ensure that you get an even dispersion of the diazo throughout the emulsion. You will see that the emulsion takes on an even colour when all the yellow sensitizer is mixed in properly. Leave the emulsion for at least 12 hours after mixing to allow the air bubbles to come out. It is always good practice to write the date the emulsion was sensitized on the container. Make sure that the screen is clamped securely in the coating machine, and then fill the clean trough slowly to minimise air bubbles. Remove the excess emulsion from the lip of the container with a damp cloth, otherwise it could contaminate the emulsion with bits next time it was opened. Every effort should be taken to minimise contamination, such as wearing suitable overalls and a hairnet if appropriate. The tack mats in the doorway in the rear of this shot show just how effective these are at removing contamination from footwear. The screens used must be clean and dry and thoroughly degreased using either Degreaser Concentrate or Universal Mesh Prep. The coating technique you choose will depend on your choice of plus emulsion, the mesh count being used, and the desired thickness and flatness of the stencil. It is important to use a slow coating speed, especially when coating a high viscosity emulsion onto a coarse mesh, otherwise you will trap many air bubbles in the mesh openings, which may lead to pinholes during printing. Additional wet-on-wet base coats can now be applied if a thick stencil is required, or if a coarse mesh is being used. Use a damp cloth to wipe off the emulsion from the coating trough lips, which will prevent it drying in and producing lines and bits on the next screen. A simple test to see how well the mesh is filled is to look at the squeegee side in reflected light. A glossy surface will show you that you have filled the mesh completely. The screen should now be dried thoroughly in a drying cabinet. For more information on screen drying, go to the how-to guide to drying. If the highest print definition is required, then additional face coats may be applied to the print side after the base coat is fully dried. More information on plus emulsions or any McDermid Autotype product, please go to our website, mcdermid.com/autotype.